All right, welcome back, everybody. Broadcasting to you live now from the parliamentary precinct here at the State of the Nation that's going to be taking place this evening. And as you can see, it's 13 minutes before 7 o'clock here on the program. We said that before the break, we're going to talk about the security measures that are in place here. And that's something that is of utmost importance, as you can imagine, for the organisers of the State of the Nation address. Well, to talk a little bit more about all the preparations and everything that they've put in place to ensure that the event goes off smoothly this morning, we are joined by Luzuko Jacobs. And Luzuko, big job ahead of you for this evening. Good to have you on the program. Welcome.
A big job ahead of us for the evening, but a big day for South Africa, a big day for our region, for Africa, for the world indeed. It's a momentous occasion. This is a day when the President comes here to talk to the members of Parliament, people's representatives, but also to address himself to South Africans generally and make commitments and issue a blueprint as to how this country aims to reach the next level.
All right, let's talk about some of the events and perhaps some lessons that were learned from last year, because last year perhaps came as a surprise to you. I'm not sure you were expecting Parliament to be disrupted in the way that it was. Now let's talk inside the parliamentary precinct. How are things going to be different this year? Firstly, let's start off with some of the jamming devices. I've heard you speaking in the run-up to it that is not something that's going to be present, and that certainly it is going to be open and free and no signal jamming devices this year.
I think the presiding officers, the Secretary to Parliament, like you say in the run-up, we always have said that everything that gets to happen here will be done within the parameters of the law. Nothing outside of the law will be done. Obviously, precautionary arrangements are going to be in place, as you would expect, for an event of this nature, but all those will be commensurate with the issues that have to be dealt with by the people who have the competence and the responsibility, the legal responsibility to do that. But we don't expect that. We expect a smooth and a very successful event. But indeed, in the event that something untoward or something that goes against what is expected happens, I think Parliament has got the wherewithal and everything to be able to respond adequately to ensure that the event is the success that it has to be.
What about the heckling? I mean, we've I think been forewarned from the political parties and the opposition parties that they are going to interrupt the State of the Nation address. I mean, we've heard from the EFF leader Julius Malema that he is going to interrupt and demand answers from the President. What's going to happen?
You know, Parliament is a forum for debate, for robust debate, where all opinions feature. Political parties understand this, and political parties utilize that space. This happens within the parameters of rules. There are statutes, there are standards that have been set that political parties, in exercising their constitutional responsibilities, abide by. Today is a special day convened by the President for him to deliver the message to the nation, to the political parties. And remember, it's not an event, it's not a once-off passing event. It will be followed by robust days of debate and engagement by political parties with every aspect of the message that the President will deliver today. So I am sure that we're going to see great debates that are going to come up next week. Today the intention is to have the President afford him the chance to make those commitments, to issue that blueprint, to address the nation and people's representatives about what the government intends to do. But indeed, you would recall that from the lessons learned last year, the political parties themselves engaged in discussions, prolonged discussions for the longest time last year to try to improve relations between parties. And we're happy that in November, the Houses of Parliament, both the National Council of Provinces as well as the National Assembly, adopted a new set of rules that are aimed to facilitate the work of public representatives, that are aimed at assisting the presiding officers in maintaining order in the House. So we hope today that we're going to see that come to fruition and assist Parliament carry out its work in a smooth and constructive manner.
Having said that, if there are interruptions, do you have your security that are on standby that if anybody does interrupt, they will be removed from the House? Is that the set rule? Is that what is going to happen tonight?
I think we rely on members, as Parliament we rely on members to see to it that happens in the manner in which they conduct themselves. We rely on the presiding officers to implement the rules if that becomes necessary. But obviously, any eventuality will be dealt with. The presiding officers have reiterated this message, have emphasized the fact that we have to have a State of the Nation address. Today that is a success, like it has always been, and any interruptions that might happen, God forbid, Parliament will have the necessary wherewithal to respond to whatever challenge.
Will you bring the police in again? Last year we were criticised for doing that.
You see, these preemptive and speculative questions might not add value to the message today. I really would want us to focus on what we're about, on what South Africa is expecting today. And South Africa expects today that we as a nation are going to do some introspection, that we as a nation are going to be looking forward and looking backwards and see how do we take this country to the next level. To engage in and create adversarial situations out of speculative situations might not help today's purpose. But look, the security apparatuses of state are going to do their work. We expect that they will, as they always do. But nothing has changed, nothing extraordinary has been implemented. It's everything that is commensurate with whatever threats that they might have specified. We as Parliament, we are about creating this platform for South Africans to engage. We as Parliament, we are about creating this platform for political parties to perform their representative responsibilities. That the presiding officers have committed that they are going to do. That we are optimistic that the political parties and indeed our honourable members will take advantage of and utilize it to the best of their abilities in meeting their purposes as political parties and public representatives.
Well, let's certainly hope that that is the case for this evening, because there are very important messages that the President needs to get across, and South Africans need to hear the road forward. It's a tough time and a tough environment that South Africans find themselves in, and we need some solutions that we are hoping that the President will offer. Just very quickly moving on to the issue of what's going to be happening outside of Parliament, and also we know that there has been permission granted for 3 different basically strikes to be happening at the time. Some people gathering outside of the precinct, but we've heard that they have to be cleared before the procession begins. Is this the case?
Yes, indeed. We have been informed by the city about 3 applications for people to march outside of the precinct of Parliament, outside of the security zone indeed, and we are aware of that. The city of Cape Town is a collaborative partner in an event, in an undertaking of this nature, so we are aware of that. But we also know that the people who are going to be marching are exercising their democratic right, well within their rights to do so. As South Africans, they are also interested in the message of the State of the Nation address. Indeed, the reason that they would have selected this day, it would be because they recognize the importance of this day for them to make their statements. But they would be as interested as you and me to listen to what that State of the Nation address is going to promise to us, to what that State of the Nation address is going to commit to, because they would want subsequently to be part of governance in ensuring that these commitments are implemented. They would want to join with Parliament in exercising oversight over the executive in the implementation of those commitments, in ensuring a legislative process that will facilitate the implementation of those commitments, because only through that process can really our country ascend to the next level. Anything that does not assist those processes, that doesn't facilitate those processes, every South African understands that it is not of a particular value to what their lives are about.
Well, we wish you the best of luck. We hope that everything goes off smoothly this evening. Thank you so much for talking to us. I know it's a very, very busy day. And I have to just let you in some secret here. Luzuko was meant to be talking to us much earlier, but he was stopped by security because he didn't have the right, he had to get the accreditation and everything to come in. So if you were stopped, then we're all got to be stopped.
But I complied, and I thought that I set a good example that we need to comply, because these people are doing this to protect me, to protect you and the members of the public who are going to be here today.
Exactly. So that's what I say. If Luzuko got stopped, believe me, the security here is massive, and it's great. So a lot of people saying that this is possibly the safest place to be in South Africa right now, which it certainly is. It always is. And it's a wonderful day to look forward to and to find out more. So you stay tuned to Morning Live. There's a lot more on the program, including talking to some of the opposition parties in the next hour to find out what they are hoping the President will address this evening. Stay tuned.